How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Count It All Joy podcast with your boy Will. And I feel like it's been a while. Every time I end up not recording uh, one week or I miss a week, I feel like I don't know. Every time I record the next week, it feels like I've been gone for a while. But yeah, I'm back on the episode. I hope you guys. What was the last one? What's today? The 11th. So it's been a couple weeks. When was the last one? Was it? Let me double check. I don't know if that was. I know it was after Christmas, but I don't remember if it was New Year's or not. I'm just gonna double check. Stay with me one time. All right, last one December 28th. Okay, so it wasn't New Year's. So happy New Year's for you guys. So yeah, this is the first. I guess this is the first episode of 2026. So that's crazy. How long have I been doing this? Guess I've been doing this for over 6 months to this point. Anyway, uh, appreciate y'all for joining. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all had breaks from work, I hope you guys had some time off work. But if not, that's unfortunate. I hope you guys enjoyed time with the family, with Christmas break, and then also had a good New Year's. Got to bring it in with people you love. I actually got to. I've never been to a quote unquote New Year's party. I guess I've been to like different family gatherings for New Year's. My aunt's birthday is around that time, so she usually has something. But as people get older, it's not as much stuff going on. But actually, I went to my homeboys. He was my homeboy Austin. He had who was on the pod months ago. He had something for New Year's at his house, so it was me, him, and a few of our friends, mutual friends. So it was good. I actually got to bring the New Year's in with them. So that was cool. Um, but yeah, I had a great time over the break. I was with my mom, my little brother, my family, and we got to go to the aquarium. My little brother had never been to the aquarium, so we got to take him there. Um, got to just work out with my little brother, train him over the break. Uh, yeah, so it was good. I hope you guys had a good time. Let me know in the comments what you guys did for New Year's and what you're excited for in 2026. One thing I won't be talking about is New Year resolutions. Uh, I don't really believe in that. I think like when people say New Year, New Me, that junk's so cringy to me because uh, it's just like from December 31st to January 1st, you're not a different person. You're the same person. Like we're growing and it takes time. But I do agree with, going to a new year, trying to eliminate certain things. So I'm with all of that. But when people try to act like just because it's 2026, you're going to stop all the habits that you do, it just doesn't work like that. But all right, I'm going to go on a tangent about that. Today, we're talking about something that I need to hear and something that I'm actually excited to talk about, honestly, because I need to apply it myself more than a lot of things. Patience. So we're gonna talk about exercising patience and how that looks like in everyday life. Uh, Again, this is something that I need. I have a lot of things that I need to work on, but patience is definitely, at the top. It's not number one, but it's definitely up at the top of the list. Uh, so yeah, I want to talk about that and just discuss that with you guys. One thing I don't remember where I got it from. It was definitely some sermon I was listening to, and it was actually in my notes. It's been in there for months, probably maybe a year or so, maybe longer than that actually, because I had to scroll. When I was scrolling, I saw it. But trust, faith, and patience, and I'll delve into that more and dive a little bit deeper into it later in the pod. But um, yeah, I think we have to trust in God and we have to have faith in God. I think that's a given, especially if you guys have been listening to my podcast. That's some of the big things that I've tried to, uh, you know, explain in each of my episodes. That trusting in God and having faith in Him and believing in Him and knowing that He's going to take us through whatever we're going through is a big part of our relationship with Him. But patience and exercising patience is a part of trusting and having faith in God. Now, like I said, I'll dive into that a little bit deeper, but I just wanted to give that basis to it because I thought that was something to establish. That was I thought that would be good to establish at the beginning. and just keep that in your head. Like we have to trust in God and have faith in Him, and being patient is a way to carry that out. So first I want to start talking about how we have to be patient in our day to day, so we can be patient with the big things in life. And those things they actually correlate, like they coexist, they coincide with each other. Uh, I'll give a few examples. Like sin and traffic. I know that might be a little bit. That might seem a little bit more simplistic or uh just insignificant. But sitting in traffic, I find myself sitting in traffic, and I'm pissed off. Like I'm sitting there, like I'm ticked. I oh, I'm sorry. I just got a notification on my phone that said George Kittle just suffered an Achilles injury. Oh man, I'm sorry. I hate injuries. That just ah man. Okay, I'm sorry. That just hurt me seeing that. Oh man, I hate injuries. All right. Let me log back in. Um, like I said, sitting in traffic is a time to exercise patience. When we're sitting in traffic and we're over here blowing the horn, or we're mad because somebody cut us off, or we're saying it was supposed to be a 20-minute excursion, but now it turned into 55 minutes. That's a time where we can exercise patience. But all right, this is just might be a little bit more time for me to sit and think. Or if somebody's in the car with me, we can actually have more of a conversation. We can have a longer conversation, like looking at it in a different lens, different paradigm, how I've explained before. And that's a time to exercise patience. Another example, again, it seems insignificant, but it could lead. It helps you when you exercise patience in these little things, and it helps with the bigger things in life. Waiting in line, waiting a long line at the store. Uh, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a long line at the store. I feel like everybody's been in a long line at the store, especially at stores. I feel like should not have a long line. Like I remember I went to the mall. This wasn't even recent. This might have been a year ago, or maybe last summer. But I forgot what store it was. I feel like it was Marshalls. There Sugarloaf Mills is right down the street from my house. So if I go to the mall, sometimes I'll go there, or I'll go to the Mall of Georgia, which is like 15 minutes away. But Sugarloaf Mills is literally like 2 minutes away from my crib. So I'll go there. But I don't know why I was in. It was like a Marshalls or a Ross, one of those stores in Sugarloaf. And I was just trying to get one thing, bro. And the line was backed up for like it was a crazy line. And I'm sitting back, why is there a long line in Marshalls? Like this is Marshalls. This is not uh Sprouts or Whole Foods or and those stores don't even have long lines for real. I was just I was really irritated. I'm like, it makes no sense for this line to be that long. But that could have been another time for me to exercise patience. I failed. I keep it above. I didn't even buy what I was gonna get. I literally said, "This is not worth it. This line is not worth." Like whatever I'm about to buy is not worth. Like I'm not sitting here. So yeah, that's another instance where you can exercise patience. I know these things might seem little, but I'm gonna build it up. I'm just giving you little examples so we can be cognizant of it. So when we are dealing with the bigger things in life that we definitely need patience in, this can help. We already have a base for it, and we've already had some practice. Uh, this is something that somebody, whoever hears this, they might get irritated, but or not even irritated, but feels some type of way. So my mom calling me. Now I know I've had this conversation, and I don't even know if I talked to my mom about this actually. So sorry, mom, but mom, your mom calling you and not really saying anything. I'm gonna let my mom. I'll tell her. I've never said this to her, but I'm just since I want to talk, I'm going to say it. One of my pet peeves, and really my mom only does this. And I thought it was just my mom, but I've talked to several other people, and they said their mom does this too. Where they call, right? They call you. They call their son or their child. You answer the phone. Hey, mom. Hey, what are you doing? Then she tells you to hold on. Now let me get this straight. You called me, right? You called me. I answered. I say hello, and then you tell me to hold on. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not adding up. Let's run this back over time. So you guys are so we can follow. We can follow. Your mom called you. You answer the phone. You say hello. She tells you to hold on. That's one of my pet peeves. And it's not like it's a hold on like 10 seconds. It's like a 2 minute thing. There's been times my mom will call me. I answer the phone, hey mom, what are you doing? Oh, hey. Oh, hold on. Then she gets on the phone with somebody else. I'm sitting on the other line for 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. Like that is now sometimes it honestly depends on what I'm doing. Because if I'm doing something else, like say I'm watching the game and she calls me, and if I'm watching it on my TV or something, then I don't really care. I'll just I'll just have the phone on speaker whenever she gets back on the phone. But sometimes I'll be watching the game on my phone or I'm watching something on my phone and I'm actively using my phone. And she'll say, hold on, don't hang up. And then 7 minutes have 7 minutes have passed. And then she gets back on the phone. And I'm like, Mom, I was like, I don't say it, but in my head, I'm like, man, I'm trying to watch something. And you called me just to get on the phone with somebody else. But look, I said that to say that is another instance, another example where we can exercise patience. Um, I know for me, the other day, I think yesterday, I was on the phone with my mom, and she does this all the time. I forgot what we were on the phone for. I don't know if it was something specific. I talk to my mom every day, multiple times a day. So I think she had called me to tell me something, but uh, it was to the point in the conversation where it was just we were just sitting there. Like I was on my phone, and I think the conversation was I thought it was over. So I was like, my generic is like, all right, mom, what you about to do? That means if I say, all right, mom, what you guys about to do? That means I'm about to get ready and, I'm ready to get off the phone. And then she knows that. So she'll be like, oh, hold on. She's like, oh, I'm trying to type this email. I'm trying to type this message or respond back to this parent, respond back to this teacher. In my head, I'm like, mom, what does that have to do with me? It has nothing to do with me. You can you can send that text, whatever. You can email that person, whatever. But I'm trolling right now, but I'm like low key serious because that is moments where, and I've actually over time I got way better at it because it's like it's not even that deep, and you begin to cherish those ones. That's something I learned from my grandmother, where my grandmother used to do it. She used to do that to the extreme, and now I see my mom. She's not gonna let me say this, but she's getting older, so I see those same traits in her. And as you get older, you begin to appreciate it because it's not. You don't look at it as annoying. You just look at it like they just want to talk to you. They want to be able to hear your voice. They want to be able to. Sometimes, yeah, they're all over the place. My mom, I'm sure she has ADHD, so she'll be doing this and then doing that. She loses her phone often, so it's stuff like that. Whereas you have to be patient, and those are like just three little funny examples, I guess, or they seem insignificant, but if you work on patience in those times, I promise it'll be a lot easier, uh, or it'll be a little bit easier of a transition when it becomes the things that really affect your life. Uh, so kind of segueing that, the thing with my mom into this, what I'm about to say, we also have to be patient in our relationships. So our friendships, our familial relationships, our romantic relationships, our whatever, right? We have to be patient in our relationships as well. And I also have examples for that. Also, um, being patient with your sibling who might not understand what you're trying to explain to them at the moment. I know for me, I have a little brother, my dog, he. I did get him on the podcast, bro. I was supposed to get him on the podcast before. I was supposed to get him on the pod during the break, but he was not. He was not. He was sick. He was on the weather. I don't know what he had. I don't know if he had the flu. I don't know if he had a new strain of COVID. But he was struggling over the break for like a week and a half. Had a cough, nasty, and yeah, I wanted to get him on a pod during then. That would have been a good time, but I'll get him eventually. And then I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna ask him and what I'm gonna talk to him with. So, but I think he's gonna do well because he speaks well for his age and he can articulate his thoughts and his words very well. So I'm excited for y'all to get him hear him on here as well. Anyway, hopefully he doesn't say anything crazy out of pocket. When I say that, he might say something that's not supposed to be said on the pod as far as like things that's supposed to be kept in house close to the chest. He might say, "Oh, I'm about to bleep it out." Like just edit that part out. Anyway, Uh, Getting back to my point, we'll be patient in our relationships. Like I said, an example, being patient with your little sibling who might not understand what you're explaining to them at the moment. I think of that because my little brother, he's 9, so it's a 13-year age gap, and I'm trying to teach him life, you know, from from my vantage point, and a lot of things that everything he's going to encounter, most of it I've probably already encountered. So everything he's thought, I probably already thought. Everything he's trying to do, I've already done at his age. So I try to get him to understand that, and like when I'm telling him, I'm not telling him for my health just because I want to say it. I'm trying to help you. Like I've been there. Like you need to listen to me. I'm not even trying to like be uh not even just trying to like get on you and tell you what to do, but it's certain things that I don't want you to have to go through what I went through or have to learn this way. I'd rather you just be able to avoid that and mess up in a different way. Because you're gonna mess up. But I get that example because I always train him when I come home. We always go to the gym, we get in work, get shots up. And I try to explain to him the intricate details with whatever move I'm trying to show him, or doing certain moves to get to your shot. Like all of it is detailed, and it's not. And I try to explain the severity of each thing that we're doing. And sometimes it's hard for him to understand that, and I get irritated not remembering that he's 9 because I try to treat him. I never did any of that, and I will never come that guy. I wouldn't like even when I have my own children. I'm not coming Google Gaga and ooh little bit. I'm not doing that. That does not help them. I will never understand that. Why are we talking to little babies like they're little babies? How about we talk to them like they're human beings, right? You don't talk to your brother. You don't talk to your coworker like that. I'm not saying we gotta talk to the little infants like they're our coworkers, but I will never talk to a little baby like they're 2 months old. I will talk to them like they're my age. Eventually, they'll understand what I'm saying, and at that point, they'll be more advanced for their age. That's just a food for thought, whatever they call it, fruit for thought, whatever they say, word for thought. I don't know, but yeah, that's something you can work on, but I know I can work on as well. Being patient with your sibling, more specifically your younger sibling who doesn't understand, they can't grasp really what you're saying in the moment, and being patient with them, walking them with it, walking through with them. Like even now, I thought about it. I was helping him with his homework, his math homework, and one thing I know I've been blessed with is math. I can do mental math. I've always been able to do mental math. Just everything about math, I've never really had to try at all with math because that's and usually when you're really good at something, you love it. So math is my favorite subject has always been because I'm really good at it, but also I love numbers. So like I also remember things off of numbers, something I've learned as I've gotten older. It's easy for me to remember numbers, and um, I'm just good with numbers. And I'm helping my little brother with his math, and this is stuff that obviously I know, so I'm trying to explain it, and he's like not grasping it fully. And he's getting the answer right, but I with math you have to be able to explain how you got there. Because if you mess up one part of the math solution, then you mess up the whole thing. You put one wrong number, or you forget one step, the whole answer is wrong. So I was trying to like make him go back and tell me how. Okay, why is this that, and why is this that? Okay, how many of this is this? Okay, this means that, and he was just, you know, I was being too hard on him, but I don't regret it. But I definitely need to be more patient with bro, and be just give him more space to mess up and to go at his own speed. And I think I wasn't doing well with that, and I haven't been. So that's something. Again, I'm talking to myself, but I'm talking to you guys as well. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm talking to myself as well. Like these are things that we can be better with when it comes to patience. Another example: being patient with your friend who might be a little pugnacious. Pugnacious means like eager to argue, like they're quick with their tongue, or they're always trying to argue, or you know, sometimes they're defensive, things like that. I don't. I feel like we all have. I mean, maybe you don't. I have a few friends that I would even say they're to the extent pugnacious, but shoot, I might be pugnacious sometimes. Well, I definitely am. Um, but not in like the hostile type of way. Uh, but being a little more patient with them. Whereas you might be telling them something like, I think about this. I don't even want to say friend, because if your friend is pugnacious, maybe that don't need to be your friend. But I can put it like this: I have teammates who they don't take constructive criticism well. You could tell them, "Hey, bro, you just gotta make a better pass." But this happened in here. At that point, I can't talk to you like I can't talk to you like a grown man. You're whining. You're whining. So let's reel it back. Like sometimes you have to. It's just tough. Like I as a again as a and I've been blessed with this. This is not me bragging, but as a leader, as the captain and being a leader of my team, like you have to be able to talk to everybody and be able to get the best out of everybody. And everybody has different triggers. Everybody is motivated by something different. Um, some people don't want to be led, right? Or some people, it's harder to lead them because of their disposition and how they operate in life, not even just basketball. But being patient with them, right? When they might not, they're not trying to operate. They're being dogmatic and they're not really trying to hear your side. They're just, even when they're completely in the wrong, they still can't see that. When you're dealing with people like that, you still have to exercise patience. That's some of the hardest time to exercise patience. It's like, all right, I'm gonna let you get your. Oh, I can't say that. I'm gonna let you get out whatever you have to get out. I'm gonna let you say what you have to say, and then I'm just gonna let you get it because you obviously need to say what you need to say. You feel like you have to get it out and you have to say it above whatever anyone else is about to say. So I'll let you get it off, and then I'll give my rebuttal or I'll give you my vantage point. And that's something that I've learned, especially as I've gotten older, and I'm getting to the age where everything is not a problem for me. I still struggle sometimes with that, but when it comes to other people, I still get very irritated. But I'm not trying to fight you, dog. Like I'm not. I don't have time to fight. Let's talk about this like men. All right. If we can't talk about this like men, I'm not talking to you. I'm gonna just walk away. It's no pride in that. I'm not. I don't have time for that, bro. Like, I don't, if we can't talk about it like grown men, then I'm gonna walk away. Now, if you want to get disrespectful, that's where another side of me comes. But I'm gonna try to avoid it. I'm gonna try to walk away until you take it there. But nah, all just aside, being patient with people like that, people that they aren't exercising patience, and they don't. I don't want to say they don't deserve patience, but they aren't making it easy for you to be patient with them. You still have to be patient with them. And sometimes you just have to be, well, most times you have to be the bigger person and just let them feel like they're in control sometimes. That's something I also had to learn. Uh, Another example of being patient with your significant other who might be struggling in a moment to, explain themselves. I know bro, it's been so many different instances where it's an argument going on. And this doesn't have to be significant. This could be a friend or a family member or whatever. And there might be an argument going on, and uh, I'm pretty good with my words. Like I can explain how I'm feeling or explain what I mean and what I'm trying to say, and I can just get it off like that. I don't really have to think about it as much. But there might be times where the other person in the conversation, whether that's a significant other, a friend, or a family member, they're having a little bit of trouble or they're stumbling over their words or they're not fully explaining themselves the best way. Or they're not even really making a lot of sense. Um, we start to be patient. With me, I don't mind debating. I don't mind getting an argument. You might call me crazy, but that's just how I never shy away from that. Because I feel like that's when you learn people the most anyway. When we're in those tense environments, when we're in those, uh, hiding situations. When the emotions are high, that's where you figure out who is who and what is what. So I don't mind those situations. That's where I really see who someone is for real. So when you can handle yourself accordingly in those situations, then then I can trust who you are really at your core. But being patient with whoever that is when they might not be. explain themselves well, and they're not really getting their point across the right way. Because I know I've been in arguments where I'll say significant other where she might say something, and she might say I was doing this, and I'll have a quick rebuttal. Because thankfully I'm quick on my feet. I don't play about that. I always have a round loaded. I always have something up in the arsenal. So if you try to say I did something, I'm like, hold on, no, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, and then she's like sitting there, and then she gives another point. I'm like, nope, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Then she go to this. I'm like, nope, I'm on that. So it's like sometimes you gotta let people just, and that's not. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying sometimes that's not even the right way to go about it. Even if you are right, even if you know they're wrong, let them finish. Let them say what they're saying. Because I mean, looking back in those moments where it's gotten to that level or argument like that, and it's like going back and forth and just rebuttal after rebuttal after rebuttal, it's gotten nowhere. So that's why I would say exercise patience and let them say how they feel. Let them say what they fully think. Let them say what they're going through. Let them explain to you, even if they aren't explaining well. Just sit there and let them do it. And in the times where I have done that, great results, 100% success rate. So that's what I would say with that. Just exercising patience in your relationships as well. Like I said, that could be romantic, familial, friendships, whatever. Um, but all of that, like I said, some of that you might think is insignificant, but all of those things lead to being patient with God. And that's sometimes the hardest time to be patient when it comes, because that's the bigger stuff. That's the most important thing, and that's the most important person. Well, God's not a person, but well, he's not human. But I that's sometimes the hardest time to be patient. Um, when it comes to being patient with God, I think during trials and tribulations, it's hard to be patient because we're like, man, how long do I have to go through this? Or man, why does this keep happening to me? And you just want to get out of it so quickly. It's not comfortable. Because it's not comfortable, you're not comfortable, if that makes sense. Because it's not comfortable, or because it's an uncomfortable situation where it doesn't feel right, and you want to get out of that. You want the quickest, easiest way to get out of that. And sometimes God wants us to sit in that. He lets us sit in that environment so we can, again, build our trust in Him and build our faith in Him. And we do that by being patient and waiting for Him to show us and waiting for Him to direct us in the right direction. Um, I forgot what I was about to say. I was about to say something specific, but yeah, doing these trials and tribulations is a lot of times it's hard to be patient. It's hard to uh just wait and sit in that uncomfortable. Oh, that's all. I'm about to make a joke. Like, I don't know if y'all seen that video where it's this show called The Barbershop, and LeBron was on there with some soccer dude, and the soccer dude was like, my coach used to tell me you have to be comfortable being in an uncomfortable situation. And LeBron's like, oh yeah, that's my favorite quote. That's my favorite. Boy, no, it's not. Anyway, I just want to bring that up. But yeah, I think it's hard sometimes to wait for God and wait for Him to show us what He's doing for us. But we need to trust in Him and have faith in Him. Um, and we can do that by being patient. So, it's kind of what I already said. It's hard waiting on God because a lot of times it's like, man, you know what they say, like He might not do it on we're not doing what we want Him, but He's always on time. Right? And they always say that in the church, and I mean it's true. It might be cliche, but it's definitely true. Things that we want, we might want it at this time, and we're being impatient about it. And we're like, man, why don't I already have this? Like I put the work in, or I did this. Why am I not seeing the fruits of my labor? And you get impatient about it. Um, and that's where the trust and the faith comes into play, where we're not trusting Him fully. We're not having unwavering faith because our patience is wavering, and we have to have, patience all the time and be patient with the process. Like sometimes we have to endure these sometimes bad things, these not so great things in our lives, so we can grow, so we can learn this lesson, this valuable lesson that's going to help us in the long run. And so we can be patient. So sometimes He lets us go through these things so when he's about to reward us. Like all we have to do is wait a little bit longer. Like he's about to reward us, but he wants to go through this one more trial so we can receive this at the right time. But if we're not patient, we might miss that blessing, right? So if we're being impatient, we just swerve and go this other place. I think we can't try to force it and try to do it on our own when we feel like his answer is taking too long. I feel like I've been there definitely. I'm in that space right now where it's a certain situation where I'm like, man, Lord, I'm asking for clarity, I'm asking for direction, I'm asking for protection, leadership, guidance. I'm asking you to show me signs, all of that. And sometimes I'm not getting full answer I want, but I need to be patient. I need to wait. Like it's gonna come. I know. I know because it's been tried. I know that, guys, every prayer I've prayed, it's been answered. Whether it was giving me what I asked for or it wasn't, and he gave me something else that was better. Either way, he's gonna answer your prayer, but you have to be patient. You have to wait for it. And I want to give examples with these things, like where we can't try to force it and try to do it on our own. When we feel like his answer is being too long. It's times where we do that. And again, some of these things I've experienced with, some things I don't, but I have friends who've been in these things. So for example, settling for a relationship just because it's been a while. Like you were in a relationship, then you got out of this relationship, and it's been a few months, or it's been 6, 7, 8, 9 months, or it's been almost a year. And you're like, man, I ain't got nobody. Let me hold on. This person seems cool. Let me just tap in with this person. Like instead of really doing your due diligence and making sure it's the right person for you, and this person aligns with your morals and values and principles, settling for a relationship just because it's been a while and you haven't been in one. That's a instance or an example of us trying to force it and doing our own and not being patient. Just being like, all right, well, this is taking a long time. I'm sorry, Lord. Hopefully this is in your will. Like, nah, or not even acknowledging that. Just going forward and not really, again, doing your due diligence and making sure it's God's will for you. Another thing too, like turning to substances, turning to alcohol, turning to whatever, turning to drugs, whatever that may be, to like mend the pain, like so you can distract yourself from what's going on. Again, not being patient, not waiting on the storm to pass. It's like, think about it like this. Thank you, because I'm just thinking about this. This is not something that was premeditated. What I'm about to say. Say it's snowing outside, and you need to get to the store. You need to get to the store, but it's snowing, and it's snowing really hard, right? It's snowing crazy. Like they say, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of snow, and let's say it's 8 a.m. But they say by 5 p.m. the snow will be cleared up and you can drive to the store. But you really need to get to the store. You're like, bro, I need to get to the store, man. I'm trying to get this item. I've been fiending for this item. I need it. Like I can't wait till 5 p.m. Like I can't. So you get in your car and you drive in that snow. Like, man, whatever. I'm gonna just drive in this snow. I need to get this item. And you crash your car. Because you're impatient. You're trying to force it when it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Like it's going to come. God is going to speak to you. He's going to show you what he has for you, what he doesn't have for you. He's going to show you what he's going to show you the answer that you're seeking, whether you like it or not. Like he's going to show you what he means and what his plan is. So again, we can't try to force it and do it on our own. So that's another example. Or that's what I think of, kind of an analogy where it's it's pouring down or it's snowing and we're just like, whatever, I'm still about to do it. Like that doesn't help us in the long run. Another example that I think is important, and I kind of talked about it in one of these past episodes, but seeking counsel from people who aren't seeking God. Now look, I think I have a few people in my head, but again, I would never say it on here. But I have a few friends who I can think of, a few people who are close to me who they're going through something, or they're having a rough time, or they're struggling with something, and they might turn to a sister or a brother or a friend who they're not really on the same path when it comes to trying to live their life a certain way. They see things in a whole different lens. So a lot of times when we're going through something or we're struggling with something, you have to be very intentional who you're seeking counsel, seeking advice from, because it can mess you up. Especially if you like really value that person's opinion and you're not strong-willed and you don't really, again, do your due diligence and making sure that it makes all the sense in the world and it aligns with God's will or aligns with God's word, you can mess yourself up. And I've seen it happen. Again, I'm not going to say any specifics, but I know somebody very close to me who, they made certain decisions based on what they're, never mind, that gets too specific. But look, all jokes aside, we have to be careful who we're seeking counsel from. It could be our friend. It could be somebody we grew up with. It can be someone who loves us and they really care for us and they want the best for us. But certain situations, they can't be the person to give us that guidance because they literally cannot see it from the point of view you need to see it from. They're giving you a point of view, a worldly point of view. And that can mess you up. That can steer you in the wrong direction. So again, that's another thing where, okay, well, let me just ask bro, hey, what you think I need to do, dog? What you think? Man, this girl, she trying to hit me up. What you think I need to do? And he tell you this, you like, you right. All right, let me do it. Instead of really thinking about it, analyzing it, and asking God about it instead and letting him direct you. Now, it's never a problem asking your friends, asking people close to you, asking your inner circle what you should do or what do they think. But sometimes you ask the wrong person and they can steer you, again, sway you in the wrong direction. And now you're sitting there, in a tough spot because you were being impatient and you were just trying to force it and trying to just take the first, the first bone, and you're just trying to, oh, well, this is easy right here. This feels like this is attainable, so let me just tap it with this. Instead of, again, just being patient, waiting. Take your time. A verse that I like, and something my mom, it's a verse my mom always brings up, and it'll lead me into a different topic, or a different, topic, I guess. Psalm 37, verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. I have another verse that goes with that, so I'll say this verse again and say the next verse. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. And then I have Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I'll say it one more time, Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So I'm going to go back to Psalms 37, verse 7. It says, be still before the Lord, and we have to wait patiently for him. That's self-explanatory, kind of what I've been saying. Wait patiently for God. Wait for him to show you what he has for you. But this is another part. This second part of this verse, this is where I want us. This is where the conversation is about to go. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. This is something my mom always talks about, and still to this day. It can really feel like, the phrase, why do bad things happen to good people? Now, I don't live by that quote. Don't get me wrong. I think it's valid. And God says a lot of time. Now, he doesn't say who's good or bad. Well, he has verses where he alludes to that. But he says we're going to go through things. And God is going to bless wicked people are going to be blessed, and also people who are trying to live for God are also going to be blessed. They're also going to receive blessings, whether we like it or not. And we can't, again, it says do not fret. So we can't become sad or become discouraged or feel like what we're doing is fruitless just because, there might be somebody who is doing whatever. Like I'll put in a athletic sense, in an athlete sense, because that's where my mind goes. So, or in okay, first I'll put in a corporate sense before I forget it. So let's say you work a 9 to 5. Let's say you work at some office job, and you're busting your tail every single day. You're getting there. You're supposed to work, like I said, it's a 9 to 5, but you're getting there an hour early work every day, putting in extra work, and you're staying late. So it's really like an 8 to 6:30 for you, right? You going crazy. You putting in, and that's Monday through Friday. Like you coming in on the weekends. Like you just trying to go above and beyond. And homeboy who comes 30 minutes late every day and leaves early, he just got a raise. He just got a promotion. How does that work? Right? How does that work? And not calling that, now going off the verse where it says wicked schemes, not calling that person wicked, but you might feel like, hey, I'm putting in all this work. I'm making sure I'm trying to do it the right way. But this person is shortchanging himself, and he's not even trying to put forth 100% effort, and he's getting what I feel like what I deserve. Some people be like, man, forget that, man, forget this job. Man, I'm gonna just come in late, just like this person, or I'm gonna leave early. Forget that. I've seen it happen. And that's where we can't. Again, we still have to be patient. We have to wait for God to. We're gonna reap what we sow eventually. It might not be when you want it, but we reap what we sow, and we're gonna see the fruits of our labor. But we can't give up and get discouraged because you see somebody else who they might not be living their life the right way, or they might be doing this. And again, I'll put it into an athletic sense. Like you might have people who, you might have a teammate, or you might have another person you play against who they're probably not taking care of their body, or they don't really put in work and stuff, or whatever, and they might be in a way better situation than you. They have the green light; they get to do whatever they want, shoot whatever shot they want, and you know they're getting accolades that you might not get, and you feel like, man, what am I doing this for? Then like, I'm putting in the work. This person don't even, he's not even as passionate as me. He doesn't put in the same work, and he's getting what I feel like I deserve. It's the same way. Like we have to be patient. We can't, and this is just the thing in general. We can't look at other people and compare their situation to our situation. Everybody's situation is different. That's something I learned in life. And then again, in sports, everyone's situation is different. Like you could put someone who is excelling and you put them in a different situation and they're not the same person. Now, you could put somebody in a situation who isn't doing as well, but put them in a different situation and they're excelling. It goes both ways. Um, so it's just you have to be able to appreciate whatever situation you're in and try to get the best out of it. And we can't look at what other people are doing. But that's a part of it though. Like we don't need to be looking at what other people are doing and be focused on how they're living their lives. Because then, that's when insecurities fall into play, and that's when envy, jealousy, that comes into play. Like we only want to get to that point. But let's say we do, they're in our face. Like let's say we do see them carrying out, I won't say wicked schemes, but yeah, like they're necessarily not doing everything they need to do to receive what they're receiving, and they are receiving it, and you feel like you're doing what you need to do. Like, so what? Be happy for them. Be like, okay, that's what's up, bro. Like my time is coming. And I feel like, again, that comes with patience. Like just trusting in God. Trusting, again, I'm going to allude back to it. Trusting in God, having faith in Him, and being patient is carrying that out. Again, the second verse where I said Galatians 6:9, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Kind of similar verse, but more so geared towards works and our principles, our morals, our values. It says, let us not become weary in doing good. That could be anything. Like I said, we don't make it. I forgot the specific verse, but we don't make it. We don't make it to heaven just off our works. Faith, what is it? Faith without works is dead. But it's another verse. like kind of what I just said, works alone, it doesn't get us into heaven. But we can't just because we might be doing what we need to do, but just because we're not again reaping what we're sowing immediately or seeing the fruits of our labor immediately, and it says it for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I know you guys have seen countless pictures of like the dude who's digging for gold and he gives up because he's been digging for so long. But like if he would have kept digging for literally just a few more inches, the gold would have been right there. That's literally how life is. Like we can't give up on ourselves, but most importantly, we can't give up on God. Like our situation might not be the best. We might not be feeling appreciated or loved or sought out for. But we have to continue to trust in the work, trust in the process, but most importantly, trust in God and just be patient and wait and know that our time is coming, right? And know that it's going to come, pause, whether we want it to or not, or whether we believe or not. But we have to believe that is going to, it's going to eventually get there, and we're going to see the fruits of our labor. And when we had that mindset, things are different. So I just wanted to have both of those verses. I wanted to break those down and kind of segue into, it's going to be other people doing things too, but we don't need to be paying attention to what they're doing. That's most importantly. But let's say we do see it and they're right in our face. It might be our teammate, it might be our coworker, it might be our friend. You feel like they're living any type of way, but they're getting all these things. You can't look at it and get jealous of them or feel like, oh, they don't deserve that. No, just be like, okay, be happy for them, happy that they're getting their blessings. But know that in due time, your blessings and your fruits will come eventually. Kind of wrapping up a little bit, like we have to continue to pray and ask God for his clear vision. And he will show it to you on his time. Kind of what I already been saying, but we have to pray for it. Like we have to continue to pray. I like ending like this every time, but we have to continue to pray and ask God for his vision for us, asking for clarity, asking for direction, asking for guidance, asking for his leadership, asking for to encourage you, asking for joy, asking for discernment, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all of that. These are all the things that I ask him for each and every day because these are things I'm seeking for, and these are things I'm yearning for, and I want to be able to implement these things in my life, and not just for me, but for the people around me. So when we continue to pray and ask God for these things and continue to ask him, what do you have for me? What's your plan for me, Lord? Okay, I don't understand why this is happening, but please, Lord, show me. Show me why this is happening. Show me, give me clarity on the situation. Or show me how I can, in this tumultuous situation, please, show me how this is going to make me better. How I can grow from this. Even though this isn't the best situation. So I think we're looking at it like that, and we just continue to pray and again be patient for his answer, because he'll give it to you and he's gonna give it to you, but it's gonna be on his time. It's not gonna be you might be like, oh, he's gonna do this for me around here, and it might come like that. Pause, but it might not. Like I know for a fact, and I've explained this before. I feel like every time I've like made some pivot when it's come to changing schools or figuring out something for basketball, it's been at the last minute every time. I'm praying it doesn't happen like this coming up, but I don't know. Maybe that's just a storybook that God made for me. Maybe he just wants me to. Maybe that's just my story, right? Maybe that's just my testimony. But I don't know. But like in the past, it's been like at the last minute. Like when people say, oh, you should already had this by then. Like, why you taking so long? Bro, God ain't showed me. Like, he hasn't shown me yet. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm trying to be patient. Like, I don't want to wait till the last minute. I don't want to wait till the last minute. It's not on me. But, sometimes it could become like nerve-wracking. And it's like, okay, I just need to choose something. Like, I remember, I'll try to keep this short. But I remember, I ain't gonna say the name. And she was cool. She didn't mean anything by it for real, but I remember certain things. I have a pretty bad memory, but I remember certain things. This was my senior year. I was getting ready to go to college, and I was still trying to figure out what school I was going to. But I was going to play basketball. Like that was I didn't want to. I wasn't going to college not playing basketball. I wanted to play basketball. Even I knew God wanted me to play basketball, so I was like, okay, I need to figure out a school where I could do both. And it was getting to the last moment, and most people already know what school they're going to before school ends, but sometimes they don't, and they figure out around June at the latest. They're not waiting until July. I didn't figure out where I was going until right before school, August, and a week before school. But it was a one. I think it was one of the assistant principals at Peachtree Ridge, and she was she was like, "Yeah, well, like you're great. Like you just need to go ahead." Oh yeah, because I was coming up there every morning during the summer. I was coming up there and shooting. Me and my little brother were going up there shooting. The AD used to let me come up there and work out when they were still there, and I appreciate it for that. So shout out to the AD that was at Peachtree Ridge. I really appreciated that. But yeah, I was going up there working out every day, and she was always asking me, "Yeah, where you going to school? Where you going to school?" I'm like, "I don't know yet. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out." And she was like, "You just need to enroll in the GGC and just make so you don't want to be not in the school. You just need to go ahead and enroll in GGC and just whatever, and just make sure you have that. Like you just need to make sure you're in school." And like I got where she was coming from. Like she didn't want me to wait till the last minute find trying to be able to hoop and play basketball and then miss out on both. Which I knew that was gonna happen anyway. God was gonna let that happen. One, my grades were really good, thanks be to God. So I was gonna be able to get into a school even if it was later on. And then second, I just knew God wanted me to he wanted me to play basketball. So I knew I was gonna be able to do both. It just took longer than I thought it was. But I said that to say, like, if I would have rushed into it, just went off what the lady was saying, and just did that because she said it, I would not be here today. I probably would not be doing this right now. I probably would not be talking to y'all. So, uh, yeah, it's just we have to be patient and wait for him, and he'll show you on his time. He showed me, and he made it clear. So I feel like another thing too, um, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but when we feel like when we're confused on what God is showing us, or we're not 100% sure, like God will make it clear. When He's speaking to us, it will be clear, and that's something I've learned. It might not be some audible thing where you hear Him, but it's God. I'm not gonna put Him in a box either. But I know God has spoken to me in various ways. Like He's spoken to me through other people. He's spoken to me. Listen to a sermon. He's spoken to me. I'm listening to music. He's spoken to me watching a show. He's spoken to me through my mom. He's spoken to me through my friends. He's spoken to me. Somebody. I'm wondering something. Like, man, I don't know. And then somebody sends me a text, and it's like he's shown me all different types of ways. And we try to be patient and wait on Him, and that's really what it is. I have some more verses, a couple more verses that I want to wrap up with, but kind of going off of the praying aspect of it and being patient in prayer. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. I really like that. Like, even saying it sounds good. Be joyful. This is Romans 12. Sorry, Romans 12, verse 12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. I like that. I ain't gonna lie. Like I already wrote this verse down, but just saying it out loud, it just, I don't know, it does something for me. I'm gonna say it one more time. Be joyful in hope. I like that. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. So this verse is telling us, like, first of all, I think for me to break this down a little bit, distinguishing happiness and joyfulness. Like we could be happy. Happy is like being happy is like a worldly thing. It's not bad, but we we're happy off of uh I made a 3-pointer, or we're happy because we won a game. Um, I'm happy because I get to get off work early. Like stuff like that. You're happy. But joy is something that you only can receive from God. You can only get that from God. And that's, I don't want to describe it as an eternal happiness because that's something that might be downgraded joyfulness. But it's something that is with you at all times. And it's never fleeting. It's not an emotion for real. It's something that you always have with you. And it doesn't waver depending on the circumstances, right? Joy is something that's always with you. And that's something that God gives you. And that's something that we also need to pray for, like praying for joy. But anyway, being joyful in hope, like it's saying, like with the joy that you have, you're hopeful that God is going to take care of everything that He has for you, and we can be joyful, and we can know that God already has it for us. He already has our path paved, and we can be hopeful for that, and we don't have to stress over it. So that's the first part of it, and then patient in affliction. Again, goes back to what this podcast is based off of. Count it all joy, like being able to face the trials and tribulations, be able to be in, like being able to be in rough, tough, situations, and be able to be patient in those times and be able to weather the storm and being able to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be talking and I'll think of something else. This was before I started recording a little bit too. This was maybe 10 minutes before I was recording, but I was scrolling on YouTube. I was eating before I did this, and I was just scrolling on YouTube trying to watch something really quickly while I was eating. What I talked about my last podcast with Ken and Tabitha Clater, who I've been watching. My mom put me on with them. It was like a little clip on YouTube that she was preaching, and she was speaking of, God didn't deliver. She was saying she had cancer. She was saying God didn't deliver me from cancer, but He brought me through cancer. God didn't deliver Daniel from the lion's den, but He took him through the lion's den, or He delivered him through the lion's den, or it was something like that. So she was basically saying, like, God might not deliver you from the fire, but He's going to be with you and take you through the fire. That was basically like her message with the little clip that I saw. And I loved it because it explains this perfectly, like being patient in affliction, like knowing when you're going through things, like God is there with you. And we just have to know that, hey, we might have to go through this rough time, but God is going to be right there with us. Like He's going to carry us. I think I forgot the exact, because I was talking to my mom about it, but it was a crazy example. I think it's like when we're walking, like we might not see God. I forgot what it was, but it was basically like something that, like God, like we're looking for God, like looking to our side to see if like God's walking with us, but He's like carrying us. It was something like that, but I don't want to butcher it up. But anyway, that kind of explains patient in affliction. That made me think of that. And then faithful in prayer. Again, kind of what I said, trusting in God, having faith in Him, and praying and being patient and knowing that God is going to answer your prayer on His time. Not when it might not be when we think, or might not be when we want it, but it's going to be the perfect time for us in our transition and when we need to grow. Another verse, my mom just sent me this probably a few days ago. And I'm glad I remembered it when I was trying to, when I was going over this podcast, what I was going to talk about. And it's Luke 11:9-13. It's not hefty, but it's a few verses, so just stay with me. So I say to you. Oh, and before this, the verses before this, prior to this, it was basically talking about a friend who, if he knocks on your door and asks you for something, you can be like, oh, I don't want to do it, I'm with my family. And then you ask again, you keep asking. Eventually, they'll get up and get whatever they need for you. And then it followed up with this. So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks, receives. People be getting on me about that. Asks and asks. Anyway, the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be open. Which of you fathers, if your son asks for a fish, will give him a snake instead? Or if he asks for an egg, will give him a scorpion? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give the Holy Spirit to those who ask him? So I know that might be a lot. Maybe it was a lot for you, but the gist of it is ask. Like ask God for what you want, what are you desiring, what are you yearning for. And he'll let you know. Like if he'll give it to you if it's for you. If it's not for you, you won't receive it. But ask and receive. If it's his will for you, you will receive it. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I think that's something that we can depend on and lean our hat on and know that God is going to take care of us. He's going to make sure that we have what we need. And he's going, if we're asking for something, if we ask for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, we're going to receive it. We ask for discernment and discerning spirit, we're going to receive it. We ask for his guidance, his direction, his leadership, his protection. We're going to receive it. Ask for it. These things he willingly gives to us. This is biblical. He willingly gives these things to us. So why not ask? Like why not ask for it? It's really like goofy not to ask for it. When he says he gives it to us willingly. Like he has no problem giving these things to us. So why not ask for it? So yeah, that's kind of how I want to wrap it up, y'all. Again, we have to be patient, have to trust him, have to know that he has everything covered. We do not have to worry about a thing because he has everything worked out for us. And sometimes we just have to wait. Sometimes we have to wait longer than we expect. Sometimes we have to wait years. And that's something that you have to be able to live with, but knowing that when you get it, it was worth the wait. So that's kind of all I talked about today, y'all. Just exercising patience in every part of your life. And again, the most important life is being patient with God and being patient with what he has for you. But yeah, y'all. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this was a little bit longer one because I told y'all I was kind of passionate about this one. This was one I really wanted to talk about because I needed myself a lot. All these things I'm talking about, I need myself, but this is something that I definitely need to work on, and I wanted to make sure I got this out to y'all. So I appreciate y'all for listening, man. I appreciate all the love, the support, man. Please follow the Spotify page. Please follow my Apple Podcast page. Follow me on Instagram, Count Out Joy Pod. You can also follow my main page. Both of those pages have all my links in the bio to the YouTube, to the TikTok. Subscribe to me on YouTube, to the YouTube, to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, to the TikTok. Even though I don't like TikTok, but hey, go on there, hit the follow button, and yeah, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. I had a whole episode based on comments, so I appreciate your comments. I like seeing what you guys think. I like seeing what you guys are going through, how you guys can relate, what you guys learn from these, and yeah, it makes my day seeing these. So just let me know, and let me know what you guys think, how you guys feel, what you guys are going through, and if you guys need any prayer for anything, like just let me know. And yeah, but I appreciate you guys for listening, man. I hope you guys had a great New Year's. I hope you guys continue to grow and have a great 2026. But yeah, man, stay blessed, stay prayed up, keep God first, love, attitude, gratitude. And I'm out. Peace.